Welcome back to Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Today is a massive day because today we got our first proper look at TDU Solar Crown gameplay. We're going to be jumping into the open world and doing some exploring around Hong Kong Island, jumping into our very first race ever, exploring the Sharps and the Streets HQ, but it all starts here in the Solar Hotel. Before we jump into the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown gameplay though, there are some things you should know. Number one, TDU finally has a release date, early 2024. And that's probably a good thing. It means the developers have a bunch more time to work on the game and get it just right for launch. And it also means it won't be going head to head with the Crew Motorfest and Forza Motorsport. It kind of has its own release window early next year, which is probably a good thing. Number two, obviously this is a very early look at TDU Solar Crown gameplay. This is actually an alpha version. There's going to be a beta after this, and then so on and so forth, and it's not the final version. And number three, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're all super excited for TDU Solar Crown. So if you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because as soon as we get some more gameplay, I'm going to have some more videos here for you guys, and you won't want to miss them. With all of that out of the way, though, welcome to the Solar Hotel. The Solar Hotel is basically your hub for everything and anything in the world of Test Drive Unlimited. You can see your daily challenges here, your driver card, the calendar of upcoming events, and much more. For example, you can see what's going on in the weekly battle between the Streets and the Sharps. We'll come back to that in a second. What's actually really cool, though, is this is actually one of the early apartments that you'll get in TDU Solar Crown. One of my favorite parts about the older Test Drive Unlimited games is that you were actually able to buy houses. Now, that's not going to be in the game at launch, but you can actually buy apartments. The further you get into the game, the more money you get in the game, you'll actually be able to get nicer and nicer apartments with nicer views, nicer furniture, more rooms, and so on. Now, although it's unconfirmed right now, it looks like to me you're going to be able to invite other players over to your house, walk around your apartment, show them around, and so on. And it also looks like you're going to be able to customize your apartments by changing things out like the wall paint, the couches, the carpets, and so on. Probably the same way you could as Test Drive Unlimited 2. That's not confirmed right now, but it looks like to me that's what's coming. Anyways, though, you came here for test drives, so let's jump into the open world and let's do some exploring. Welcome to Hong Kong Island for the first time. So our first destination, we're heading over to the Streets HQ, which is an underground club on the eastern side of the island. We're going to be checking out a bunch of cars on our way over there, including the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, the Nissan GTR, the Corvette C7 ZR1. One thing that you can actually spot in the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown gameplay is that these cars actually have classes and PI. For example, the Nissan GTR is S-Class, PI 709, the Ford Raptor is down in C-Class, and so on. It might sound kind of trivial, but if you go back to Test Drive Unlimited 2, we actually had a very different class system. For example, all of like the asphalt cars were like A1, A2, A3 class. All of the classic cars were like C1, C2, C3. And what that means is you can actually race any car in any event. So if you want to race a Ford Raptor in an on-road race, you can do that. If you want to race a Lamborghini in an off-road race, you can do that as well. Seriously though, as we're driving to this first event, I urge you, pause this video at certain points and take a look at this world in more detail, and you'll notice just how beautiful it looks. Now, don't get me wrong, the graphics are decent, but it's more the feeling that you get from the world. It truly feels like you're driving around this like almost mysterious place. You've got these massive highways, these insanely large downtown cores, but at the same time, you've also got these really cool mountain roads to go and explore, and they are tight and they are narrow, and it's truly going to be a challenge to get your car around this map in one piece. Another thing to note is at one point you can actually see the map brought up in this gameplay, and you get a bit of an idea for how big this map actually is. Going from the eastern side of the map to the western side of the map, roughly, is 15 kilometers, which is huge. And considering it's not even using the whole thing, that's massive. We'll come back to the map in a second. We have arrived at the Streets HQ. Welcome to the Underground Club, an area where if you're a part of the Streets, you're going to be able to hang out, hit up those VIP rooms. When you're in these HQs, you could actually do some fun emotes like wave at people, do some dancing and so on. Let's leave the Streets HQ though. Let's get back on the road and let's head to the western side of the map and the Sharps HQ. As we're making our drive over here though, we can talk about some of the other really cool things that have been confirmed for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. For example, car dealer. Now, I know I spoke about car dealers in a previous video, but this is the first time we can actually see where some of them are on the map. For example, you can see like the luxury dealer, the Italian dealer, Lamborghini has its own dedicated dealer. There's an off-road dealer, American dealer, a classic dealer, and even a German dealer just in this small little area. Also on the map, you might have noticed that you can actually see car upgrade shops where you can take your car and upgrade them performance-wise. So if you want to make your Ford Raptor better for driving on the road, you can do that if you want. Unfortunately, we didn't get any gameplay of that in this particular video, but one thing I did want to point out is that none of these cars in this gameplay actually have any visual customization, from like wheels to rear wings to splitters to anything like that. So I don't know if that's going to be in the game. It was something we never really had in previous test drive games, so we'll have to see. There are also gas stations scattered all around the map. If you find a gas station, you can drive up to it. You can repair your car and clean your car there. Make your car look a little bit nicer while you are taking some photos. Yes, there is also a photo mode that is officially being confirmed. Again, unfortunately, we didn't actually get any gameplay of it, but if you look down into the bottom left-hand corner, you can see photo mode is available in Freeroam and when you're actually exploring like the HQs, your apartment and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Without a doubt, though, the coolest thing by far that was showed off was this. This is your car control screen where you can open up this little dial and mess around with any of your car settings, from the windows to the roof to the turn signals and hazard lights. I know this is something I and many people have been asking for a very long time, so it's super cool to see that it is officially confirmed for TDU Solar Crown. I think more games need to do this. And just like that, we've arrived at the Sharps HQ, and this is a beautiful looking hotel. I think I gotta be Team Sharps. I don't know about you guys. What team are you gonna be, Sharps or Streets? I'm thinking Sharps. I don't know. I like this place. You can actually see a little bit of the VIP area here. There's like a guy at the back. I believe this guy might give you races or challenges to do. We don't know just yet, but there's a pool. Anyways, let's head into our first proper race. Now, you might notice immediately that there's 8 players in this race, which is a little bit disappointing. I would assume that's going to be the same for free roaming as well. You're only going to be able to free roam with 8 players. It's unconfirmed, but we'll have to see. A little bit disappointing, though, when other games are doing 12, 16, 24, and some developers are doing even more than that. I was really hoping for a little bit more, if I'm honest. I briefly wanted to talk about some of the other things going on in the game. For example, there are PR stunts where you can go in, set a certain score, and actually get money for doing that. And then that money and like the score you get will get applied to whatever team you're on, the Streets or the Sharps, and you're constantly having a battle between the 2 teams. And at the end of the week, one of the teams is gonna win, and that's it. I also briefly wanted to talk about the physics in TDU Solar Crown. Now, obviously, I haven't played the game just yet, but by the looks of things, they're a little bit on the arcadey side. They kind of look like a mix between Need for Speed and kind of The Crew, but again, we'll have to see when we actually get hands-on. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about some of the new cars that you can actually see in this gameplay. For example, the Alpine A110 is officially confirmed, along with the Dodge Challenger, a Bugatti Chiron, and I honestly didn't expect to see this, a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo is in the game. Really, really cool stuff was shown off today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click that subscribe button down below. I'll see you soon with some more TDU Solar Crown gameplay. I'll see you then. Okay, bye.